2022. What a year. In this video, I'm just going to be going through my biggest mistakes. It's going to be one of those rambly, person-to-person, deep videos. So if that's not your thing, then I won't take it personally if you don't stick around. But my first mistake is that I didn't set my targets high enough. Interestingly, I was reading this book recently. It's called 10X by Grant Cardone. And he talks about how people set their targets to a realistic standard to avoid disappointment. But what ends up happening is when we set a target, we actually come short of it. And to be honest, in my experience, that's how I felt. And in the last month or 2 months, I've just been trying to aim a little bit higher, and I feel like my efforts are starting to match that a little bit, but I'm still nowhere near where I want to be. You might ask me, why do I want all of this? Like, what am I even aiming for? And honestly, it's a hard question, but I want to be able to go to work, not because I need to, but because I want to. I think that's my aim. And I've got a baby on the way, and I want her life to be as fulfilled and comfortable with as much opportunity as she can possibly get. So, I mean, I feel like there's a huge weight on my shoulders to try and basically succeed, whatever that is. I think I'm doing okay now. I could be doing a lot better. I feel like I'm wasting a lot of potential that I could be using for better things, to be truly honest with you. But it kind of leads me on to my next biggest failure, which is that I don't think I've read enough in 2022. I have kind of gone through some books here and there. Need to wash the coffee off my teeth. My sister is a dentist. She'll kill me if I ruin my teeth. So I only kind of started reading properly when I bought my Kindle, which is around June, halfway through. And it is single-handedly the thing that has changed my life more than anything else I've probably ever done in my life. Like, all the world's knowledge is within books. So if you like reading, then that is a pretty good advantage for you, because you can learn anything you want. I think the thing is, like, all of these non-fiction books, each one of them are claiming to have like the one thing that is going to change everything. But the truth is, like, each one of them gives you something small that you can apply that will actually, when put together as a whole, help you make huge strides. Like, it's like Atomic Habits says, like, small changes, remarkable results. That was one of the better books that I've read, definitely, by James Clear. If you haven't read it, check it out. What else? I think another thing is that I've cared way too much what other people think. There was basically a time in my YouTube where I was trying my hardest to just keep producing, and I just wanted to be able to engage you guys as much as possible with something, and I didn't really know or mind what that something was. I just wanted you to like it. And that probably comes from like this deep insecurity and need for validation that I've got, which, I mean, fair enough. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get over that, but I have been working on it. And I think now it's more about like making content that I'm actually passionate about, that I enjoy making, and just like not worrying about the numbers too much. It's like what Stephen King says with his book on writing, A Memoir of the Craft, that the writer breaks even, which basically means if you can please more than 50% of people, then you're doing well. So that should be the aim, to please at least half, not everyone, because you're never going to please everyone. There are always haters out there. Just recently I had someone on one of my house videos who said he took the time to leave a comment saying, I had to stop watching your video because you just kept babbling on. And I skipped forward and you were still babbling. So I don't want to watch this. So like, fair enough. But the truth is I'm never going to be able to please that person with the type of content I make. And that kind of comment, I think, can be quite hurtful. And quite demoralizing, especially when you think like, oh yeah, I actually work pretty hard to make these videos, like hours and hours of kind of, watching and editing and like all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. But now I just think, I make my videos for the people who like to watch them. And it's probably the people who are actually watching this video as well. So, thank you to all of you that are still here. I really appreciate that. It also brings me on to something even more important, probably one of the most important mistakes that I've made this year, which, I mean, I'll probably need a Ferrero Rocher for this one because it's just so big. Yes, doctors have Ferrero Rochers as well. We're not super healthy, clean and lean all the time, as many would expect us to be. But you know what they say, never trust a skinny chef. So we can't take it to the extreme. So my worst mistake was not having a purpose. It's like, why am I making YouTube videos? What is it all for? What do I actually want to achieve with this channel? And I still struggle to answer that question sometimes, but at least now I kind of know that actually what I really want to do is try and document my journey and try and show you the things that I learn, share the things of value that I come across in my life with you in a way that, I wish I had someone mentoring me. I want to be like, maybe a mentor or, someone who basically helps you when you find difficulty. I think that for me, being a teacher, a trainer, like that is what I find really satisfying. And that, for me, I really enjoy making the medical content, but it isn't just about like producing medical content. It's also about, videos like this where we can learn from each other's mistakes and also, I can share valuable books or other insights that I've made in my life as well. And, I'm going to be a dad soon. Maybe I can share bits about parenting as well. If some of you are going to be parents soon as well, maybe you'd find that helpful. But I think that's where I want to go with this channel. So we'll see. maybe no one will watch it. Maybe they won't be interested in it. But honestly, I'd like to look back at this like 3 or 4 years from now and just think like, wow, at that point, I had no idea if this was going to be anything meaningful, if people were actually going to care what I was saying, and just think, yeah, I don't, will I even remember to look back at this? Probably not. I'll probably be like somewhere else, like with, running around chasing kids on a football pitch or something, or in a ballet class, who knows. So yeah, that brings me to another mistake that I've had recently, which was in trying to move too quickly. I came across a quote recently, which is "move slow to go fast," and honestly, it couldn't be more true. Like, I wanted to make a lot of money, and I wanted to invest wisely, and I have made good investments. I have an Airbnb property, and I have shares in S&P 500 as well. I have a stocks and shares ISA. I put in £5,000 every month, which I'm thankful for. But I lost tens of thousands of pounds investing in crypto earlier this year, and like, that's not as an amateur. I've been investing in crypto for a bit of time now, and I got really stung on NFTs and trying to dip my toes into leverage trading, which was stupid. And ultimately, after all of it, I realized that trying to time the market is just it's crazy. It's like all of this like technical analysis, and it's like, oh well, it's going to go up because the humidity is 75% outside today. It's like, the only way really to make money in investing, I think, for the usual non-institutional, non-quant PhD person, is to just dollar cost average monthly, and just invest regularly, and over time it will go up. And that's the investing strategy Warren Buffett advises, and I think I'm just going to stick to that as well. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm just a guy on the internet that you're listening to. So do what you feel is best for your situation. But for me, I think dollar cost averaging has helped me not only financially, but also like mentally. I've felt no bigger change in my life than when I left crypto and finally wasn't obsessed with what price is Ethereum this minute. Like being sat in the coffee room at work and checking the price of Ethereum on the side. It's like, this stuff it's true addiction when you get to that level. And if you're relying on that stuff, then trust me, you're not successful, because even if you make a ton of money, then you will not sell. It will have a grasp on you forever. You'll only be successful when you make it through true grit and determination, because easy come, easy go. And honestly, I feel that because I had times when I was in huge amounts of profit and I didn't sell, because your brain does this thing to you where it says, oh look, you made this much, then why, if you made 100k, why can you not make 1 million? You just do the same strategy. And it's like, no, that's not how it works, because what you did yesterday may not work today. That's just how investing is. But it's a whole different story in business. So that's where I think, every person who's made it good and is comfortable in their career can take the next step. Lots of us look to investing for the answer, but it's not the solution. Another thing I didn't do very well is share my work. I've always been a kind of quiet person, like I do well and achieve stuff, but not necessarily talk about it. What I've noticed nowadays is that those kind of people generally don't do very well. Like, look at Andrew Tate, for example. He's the most arrogant, boisterous, outspoken person ever. Who knows if what he's saying is truth or not, but people don't care because of his machismo is just magnetic. And like Grant Cardone is another one where like they're just controversial, like arrogant characters, and this is the type of person that people are attracted to. Now, I'm not saying that this is how I want to be and I want to change my character. No, but like I just think this idea of being modest, being like desirable in society is just a joke. I think that's just a way of like insecure people preserving their feelings because they can't deal with when other people are successful. Ultimately, you know, if you're successful, shout on the rooftops about it. If you're building something, honestly, make sure people know about it because that's how you get collaborators. Honestly, I've been trying to do things on my own because of this idea of like being modest and like not shouting too much about what you're doing, and then you just end up working in a silo and like not finding collaborators for projects. It's like, you know, when I was initially making these house videos, I was killing myself, like recording and editing. Like editing would take 2-3 days, and it's like, why am I doing this? You know, and so I would start talking to people about what I'm doing, and they say, why don't you hire an editor? And you know, as soon as I did, my life improved dramatically. Like, use other people. Like, I don't know why I didn't use them as like a springboard for ideas before, because honestly, you get some of your best ideas from just sharing with others. So so moving into 2023, I'm just going to speak from the heart, and you know, that's for me to do. And if some people feel insecure or frustrated or angry by that, then you know, that's on them. Those are their demons to deal with. That's not on me. And I think the last thing that I really wanted to say is just about New Year's resolutions. I think that every day for me is going to be a New Year's resolution day. Every day I'm going to be reviewing and trying to live my best life, be my best self. It sounds so cringe. But yeah, like I don't need to just try hard on January 1st. I don't need to try and be a new person on January the 1st, because I'm trying to be that person every single day of the year. And you know, I hope you are too, and I hope I can learn from all of the things that I've gotten totally wrong this year. I'm definitely not perfect. I have my limits, and to be honest, that's another thing. Like knowing my limits was something that I really tried to develop this year, and it's liberating when I do. Like I'm not a genius. I'm not Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, no Steve Jobs. And that's okay, because I'm me. And that's all I need to be. So yeah, Happy New Year to you, and I hope this video has been useful. I know it's been rambly. Time to finish my coffee. Stay curious.